July 19, 2023, Cape Coral, Florida. It was supposed to be an ordinary summer night along Florida's southwest coast. The kind of night where the buzz of crickets mixes with the distant hum of boats and warm breeze brushing through palm trees. But as the sun went down and the city drifted into quiet, a different kind of sound pierced the peace. Desperate cries. They echoed from inside a modest condo on a residential street, muffled, frantic, full of terror. Neighbors would later describe the cries as chilling, urgent pleas that stopped as suddenly as they began. At first, no one knew exactly what happened inside that condo, but within days, Barry Schmalbach, a beloved friend, brother, and partner, was gone, vanished. His phone stopped responding. His cheerful texts, funny emojis, daily chats, they all went silent. And the silence in this case was the beginning of a nightmare. Who was Barry? Before we dive into the events of that night, let's talk about Barry. Barry Schmalbach was more than just a name in the news. He was known for his infectious laugh, easygoing charm, and love for his tight-knit circle of friends and family. A former New Jersey native, Barry had made a life for himself in sunny Cape Coral, where he enjoyed warm weather, socializing, and taking care of his condo, his safe haven. He was active on social media, stayed in touch with his siblings regularly, and was deeply loved by his boyfriend and those close to him. Friends describe him as warm-hearted, loyal, and always ready to listen or crack a joke when someone was feeling down. Barry had recently been navigating the ups and downs of a personal relationship, one that, while passionate, was beginning to show troubling signs. But he kept most of that pain to himself, hopeful things would improve. Unfortunately, that hope would be used against him. The night everything changed, July 19, 2023, began like any other day. Barry exchanged a few texts with his friends and spent time at home. There was nothing immediately alarming until just after 9 p.m. That's when several neighbors reported hearing loud banging and terrified screaming coming from Barry's unit. One neighbor said they heard what sounded like a man yelling for help, followed by a thud. Another reported hearing desperate cries that lasted about 30 seconds, then stopped abruptly. Cape Coral police received no emergency call that night. Not from Barry, not from neighbors, not from the person inside with him. The next day, messages continued to be sent from Barry's phone, but something was off. Friends noticed the tone wasn't quite right. The language was stiff, formal, no emojis, no inside jokes. Barry, who loved to use "mao" or "aha" in nearly every message, was now texting like a stranger. Then the text stopped altogether. His boyfriend grew more and more concerned. He called. No answer. Texted. Nothing. Days passed. No one had seen or heard from Barry. That's when his family contacted the police and demanded a welfare check. When officers arrived at Barry's condo, what they found would send a chill down the spine of even the most hardened investigators. A missing man, a disturbing scene. When police entered Barry's condo, there was no sign of Barry himself, but there were disturbing clues. Furniture had been shifted. There were signs of a struggle. A lamp was broken, and red stains, possibly blood, were found on the floor near the living area, but there was no body. No immediate sign of what happened after that violent outburst on July 19. Detectives took Barry's phone data and began examining surveillance footage from nearby buildings. They started piecing together the final moments captured on video. What they found was telling a man believed to be Barry's boyfriend was seen entering the condo that night, but never seen leaving. Investigators also recovered Barry's phone and laptop, wiped clean. Digital forensics teams determined the last outgoing messages were scheduled texts, likely sent to delay suspicion. But even more chilling, neighbors reported seeing someone carrying a large, heavy duffel bag out of Barry's apartment the following morning. The person appeared strained, dragging it down the stairs. That individual was later identified as Barry's boyfriend. Authorities suspected the worst. Barry hadn't run away. He had been murdered. The problem, they still didn't have a body, and in homicide law, a conviction without a body is always a challenge. The investigation unfolds. Detectives pressed forward, building a circumstantial case based on what they had: the broken items, the witness reports, the digital cover-up attempts, and most crucially, the inconsistencies in the boyfriend's alibi. Phone records placed him at the scene during the time of the incident. His story kept changing, from "I wasn't there" to "I left before anything happened," to eventually silence. As weeks passed, the pressure mounted. Investigators widened their search and brought in cadaver dogs, scoured nearby dumpsters, and used thermal imaging drones to scan wooded areas and waterways near Cape Coral. Then, a breakthrough. A tip came in from a local fisherman who had noticed a large duffel bag caught in mangroves near a canal. Authorities retrieved the bag, and inside, tragically, they found Barry's remains. It was brutal. He had been beaten, possibly strangled, and wrapped in towels and duct tape before being stuffed into the duffel bag and dumped into the canal. The evidence was now undeniable. Police arrested Barry's boyfriend and charged him with second-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and improper disposal of human remains. Barry's loved ones, while heartbroken, finally had an answer. But no sense of relief could undo what had been taken. The system, the signs, and the silence. ANTHCENCE. As the investigation wrapped up and trial preparation began, attention turned to the bigger questions. Could this have been prevented? Barry's friends later told detectives about past incidents of emotional manipulation and psychological abuse in the relationship, controlling behavior, sudden jealousy, and verbal outbursts. But Barry, like so many victims, had brushed them off. He didn't want to burden anyone. This is the part of the story that's hardest to hear. Barry didn't know he was in danger until it was too late. The justice system may have caught his killer, but it couldn't protect him while he was alive. That's the tragedy and the lesson. Today, Barry's story is being used to spread awareness of domestic violence in LGBTQ+ relationships, a topic often ignored or misunderstood. Abuse doesn't always leave bruises. Sometimes it comes in the form of silence, isolation, or fake smiles covering up years of tension. Barry's voice was silenced, but now his story is speaking volumes. How technology revealed the truth. In many older cases, investigators relied solely on witness statements and physical evidence. But in Barry Schmalbach's murder, technology became the key that cracked the case wide open. After Barry went silent, the killer tried to manipulate the digital trail. His phone sent scheduled texts to friends, creating the illusion that he was still alive and simply busy or traveling. These messages were subtle, but something felt off. Barry's friends noticed the tone change immediately. He was known for his warmth and humor. Suddenly, his messages were robotic, cold. No voice notes, no emojis, just dead words on a screen. Police worked with digital forensic experts to analyze metadata from Barry's phone. And here's where it unraveled. The messages were scheduled using a third-party app, one Barry had never used before. His phone had connected to Wi-Fi at the condo even after the time he was supposedly away. The phone was later wiped, but not fully. Fragments of deleted files revealed recent logins and suspicious searches like how to delete texts permanently and best way to clean up blood. Investigators also pulled cell tower pings and geolocation data, which placed Barry's boyfriend at the condo during and after the time of the screams. Even more damning, surveillance from a nearby property showed a shadowy figure disposing of a large object late at night, a timeline that matched the disappearance. This digital evidence didn't just supplement the case, it reconstructed Barry's final hours in a way that no eyewitness ever could. It proved the crime was premeditated. It exposed the killer's desperate attempt to control the narrative. Barry Schmalbach lived a life full of love, joy, and connection. He deserved peace, safety, and protection, not betrayal by someone he trusted most. His death is a reminder that violence can hide in plain sight, and that the people we care about most might be battling demons we don't see. As the trial continues, Barry's loved ones are committed to honoring his memory, not just through grief but through advocacy. If you or someone you know feels unsafe in a relationship, please reach out. Whether you're part of the LGBTQ community or not, you are never alone. In memory of Barry Schmalbach, like, share, and subscribe if this story moved you, and help keep his memory alive by spreading awareness. Let us know in the comments. How can communities better protect individuals in vulnerable relationships? Until next time, stay safe, stay alert, and stay compassionate.